Now there's another really beautiful and interesting headstone here, guys. Look at this. Wow. We have the skull and crossbones. Another one just over here by this big tree. And a headstone in here. And it looks like the name on that is James, 1870. Look at that. And I've never seen wrought iron railings to go around a grave like these ones before, with that big spike on top. Amazing. This one is extremely wild with weeds and thorns also. Lovely designs on it. Loving memory of Robert Wilson, who died December the 22nd, 1884, and of William Carroll, who died July the 10th, 1893, and also of his children, Anna Maria, Robert, and Richard. Beautiful headstone. And just here we see this very old looking stone slab, and it's just left up against the wall here. I don't see any inscriptions on that. It's a beautiful graveyard, and they usually are, the Church of Ireland ones are really nice, and they have elaborate tombs in them. Like this one here, another beautiful wrought iron work railing going around that. And unfortunately on a lot of those you can't really read inside them on the tombstones. This one here, we have a loving memory of Stephen Henley, who died September the 8th, 1919, aged 77, and his wife Fanny, who died in 1938, aged 92 years old. There's a view of that church in the background. Another old wrought iron one, just like above, that spike on the four sides, and a big stone slab here, and the name on this is John, and that's all I can see. It's weather worn, unfortunately. The name John is on that. So if there is a find a grave for this graveyard here, I will look up some of the names. Now we'll go this direction, because I want to show you, there's a lot of these old ones with the wrought iron around them. It's another one just here. Real old one here again. There's a pot of flowers just left on top of this one here, and the writing has faded away again on this. So I see that a lot with these stone slab tombs. You know, the writing fades away a lot on them, and they're very hard to read. I'm going to take you over to show you this very elaborate funery monument, and it's dedicated, it's actually the original one that was taken. These people died in the 1500s, and the stone slab here, funerary monument, was moved here to St. Peter's Church, I believe, in the early 1700s. And it's the funery monument of Sir Edmund Golding and his wife Elizabeth Fleming. So the story goes that Sir Edmund and his wife Elizabeth died tragically on a boat. It was a drowning accident on a river. Isn't that just amazing? Cadaver stones were often laid over the tombs of the wealthy during the times of the plague, during the 14th and 15th centuries. They are designed to show what happens to our bodies once buried, hence the open funeral shroud. A number of creatures like newts, frogs, maggots, etc. can be seen feasting on the rotting flesh. No matter how much wealth a person had or what their status was in life, we are all equal in death. Latin phrases like memento mori, remember that you will die, and memento vivere, remember to live, became popular around the same period of time. And I believe these ones here beside it are actually the base, the original base of the monument. You can see like there's two angels, one each side, and like a crest. But that is just amazing. So that is from the 1500s, guys. The earliest one I think I've ever found. The 1500s. So this would have been placed on Sir Edmund's final resting place and his wife Elizabeth Fleming. And you can just see the detail that went into this work the stone carver did. And they're called a cadaver, or a cavader, I think. Cavader stone they're called. And I get the correct name for that. I put it over the video, but I'm sure it's called that name. But it's depicting death, and you can just see there the ribs and the bones, the body decaying away. Amazing, look at that. Wow. So just in front of that funerary monument we just saw there, that super looking monument, we have this beautiful monument just here. And it's a pillar cut short. I think the name on this is George Galbert. Who died the 6th of November 1897, aged 43 years old. Here also are interred his father, Hugh Galbert, who died the 15th of June 1883, aged 83 years old, and his mother Elizabeth, who died the 8th of June 1886, aged 43, and his brothers Hugh 1890, Samuel 1893, also Sarah Jane, wife of the above George, who died the 11th of March 1942, aged 88 years old. Look at that beautiful half pillar monument. So the Galbraiths had a bakery in Drogheda, and it was originally opened by Hugh Galbert. We know that the bakery dates from before 1834. He was married to Anne Clarendon, but his only son by this marriage was drowned in 1847. Anne died and he remarried in 1853 to Elizabeth Knaggs, and a year later they baptised their first son George. 3 years after that, in 1857, they baptised twin sons Samuel and Hugh John. In 1860, Hugh was charged with having his employees work on the Sabbath, but successfully argued that any actual work was carried out before the stroke of midnight. Galbraith's store was extensively destroyed by a fire for the first time in January 1862, causing over £300 worth of damage, but with insurance cover they were able to carry on. And just in here, resting against this wall, is this fine monument here. And I will go in and get a closer look if I can, but as you can see, there is a lot of overgrowth just there. So it's in memory of my ever dearest wife, Mrs. Anne Smith, who died February the 24th, 1777, in the 72nd year of her age, and whose remains lie interred underneath this monument is erected by Reverend Mr. John Smith. Wow, that's a super looking grave. Amazing. I'll just show you guys the stonework that's on that grave. Look at that. So there you can see the date, 1777. Anne Smith. Another beautiful gravesite here with that old railing around it. In memory of Eleanor, widow of the late Francis Richardson, Esquire, and daughter of the late Major Bayliss. In memory of Jemima Miller, who died the 13th of July 1865, aged 19 years old. This stone was erected by her sorrowing parents, James and Anna Miller of Drogheda. Also of their children, Alexander and Maria Agnes, who died young and whose remains were interred in the West Churchyard, Edinburgh. I'll just go this direction. Another beautiful grave monument here. Loving memory of Thomas Smullen, late of Royal Engineers and engaged on the Ordnance Survey of Ireland, who died at Drogheda October the 5th, 1884, aged 73, and his wife Mary Jane died 7th of May 1884, aged 72, and their daughter is also buried here, Elizabeth, and she died in 1887, aged 44. You can see the Smullen family name just there. Now there's another really beautiful and interesting headstone here, guys. Look at this. Wow. We have the skull and crossbones and flags, and the number 17 is on it. Our Glory. 25th of October Balaclava, 1884. Sacred to the memory of John Duggan, who died in Drogheda on the 22nd of March 1881, aged 67 years old. Late Private, 17th Lancers and Sexton of St. Peter's Church. He fought in the battles of Alma, Inkerman, Sevastopol and Balaclava. Wow. Look at that. Skull and crossbones, guys. Amazing stonework. So guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the video on that note. So thank you for coming along. Thank you for watching the video. Remember, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. The bell lets you know whenever I upload a video. So from me, grave visitations here in this beautiful old churchyard here in County Louth. Take care, guys. God bless, and see you on the next adventure.